Good morning. We bless God for a wonderful week. So today I want us to discuss about life after COVID. Why? Because one day we will wake up, COVID will be normal. But guess what? Like I said in my other video about coping with crisis, is that life will never be the same again. And by this, I'm actually meaning in a positive way, because guess what? We are not dying. Can I get some amen to that? We'll be around, and I believe that we shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living, and God will satisfy us with long life. And so even as we think about this situation, it's about adapting, evolving, and allowing ourselves to grow through it. The fact of the fourth industrial revolution is mind-blowing, totally disruptive in terms of how the governments will run, in terms of how businesses will run, in terms of how our lifestyles will be in the future. And I feel like COVID is a blessing in disguise as well, because it's shoving us on the deep end of the fourth industrial revolution. And the reason I'm saying this, it's because even as we look at the jamming that is online, like I've been trying to do Zoom meetings last week, the network is horrible. I don't know whether the capacity of also the apps to support us was probably undermined. The things that will come up with the fourth industrial revolution is 5G. The network that will be stronger 10 times than the 4G, so that everything will onboard that space of online comfortably. That is when automation will grow rapidly. That is when we will have artificial intelligence rolling out in full force, and I believe we are on the brink of that. And so how can we start adapting ourselves so that we are ready for that space, even as individuals, even as parents, even as companies and corporates and businesses and employees? How do we make ourselves future relevant? The connection will be amazing, the capacity will be mind-blowing, and of course unlimited access. COVID, there will be many opportunities. How am I aligning myself to be able to seize those opportunities and to make the most out of them? Artificial intelligence, there is 3D printing, there is nanotech, there is quantum computing technology. There are many futuristic careers that I've not even thought about. And that is why, as much as we want our children to perform well, we need to also ask ourselves, what are natural skills that will be sellable in future? So that we are encouraging them to build those skills, as much as we are not sure of the opportunities that will come. Because guess what? There are also careers that will totally go out of fashion. Some careers will be obsolete in the next 10 years. And so it's important to position our children career so that we're not just thinking about now, we are thinking about 20 years, 30 years, and the rapid, mind-blowing, amazing innovations that will have taken place. In the future of work, your child will not rely entirely on a degree. They will actually do basic training, and then they will go to their workplace, and then they will be trained on specific skills they need to be competent in that specific work. And that's happening already, because nowadays short trainings that are happening so that you're proficient on what exactly is happening in that corporate. So this appreciation of the mainstream education, and especially the fact that it's not involving in the universities, the content is the same old. And how it is changing how we are going to work in future is that the workplace will be more of a learning experience than the classroom. And so when your child goes to the workplace, that is when they will actually be able to know exactly what it entails and what they need to do. And when they be big in future is specialization. Yeah, because this doing general works will no longer be working. And especially if you're thinking about our children earning better in future, come with is number one, the principles they have learned and the bottom lines. But everything else, including the day-to-day implementation and the future of their careers, it will actually be a learning experience. It will be depending on the needs and the demands in the marketplace. And so flexibility will be very important in future. It will be a very important skill. Flexibility, adaptability, and of course resilience. And the other thing is also creativity. Those will actually be very payable things in the future. For work, there will be less personal contact, social benefits for our children. And that is why we need to make sure that they are social when they are growing up, so that those are skills they will take up when they go. How much time does your child spend online? Because if they don't build social skills right now, especially in their formative years, it will be more challenging to build it in their future, because most of them will be working in isolation, working from remote locations, and they need these social skills to be able to survive, and of course the other thing, to be able to stay human. and who we are as Africans. We need to still keep our relational side, which is what keeps us thriving and keeps us connected. If in future our grandchildren are not going to schools, they can study from home, homeschooling, and then later they go to a workspace where they are also working remotely. We need to help these children. And the reason I'm emphasizing on this, it is because the family disintegration and the social disintegration is what will suffer in future. If we're not building the social skills in our children and teaching them to be human and instilling values, when it comes to the future that they are going into, it will be more challenging, as well, to make sure that they go into those spaces with values, with humanity, so that even their work ethic, results of what they are doing, will always be something productive and positive to humanity. Why? Because it's possible to create a robot that is heartless, artificial intelligence that is selfish and individualistic, instead of creating a communal online space. And it's important for us who says that there is no child who should be exposed to screen time before they are 2 years. And even when they're 2 years, they are under supervision. Limit the screen time from your children. Allow them to learn more about being human. Because guess what? They will have a lot of screen time in future. A lot of it. And the other thing is also to look at what are the innovative ways your children can exist online. What are the innovative ways your child can exist online? Can they learn skills that will be futuristic? Can they use the online space to educate themselves about the future instead of just playing games and having fun? Can they also see it as a space for productivity and work?